Is bipolar 2 disorder eligible for a disability tax credit here in Canada? Yes, and here's how. Bipolar 2 is characterized by periods of depression and hypomania, and it significantly impacts brain functions as well as your mental health due to alterations in your brain chemistry. For example, within bipolar 2, you typically have an overactive amygdala, which is responsible for your fear responses and anger. Due to that function being overactive, you tend to have difficulty regulating your emotions, which can actually exacerbate your depressive and hypomanic states. Because their amygdala is overactive, it leads their prefrontal cortex to be less active. The prefrontal cortex serves the purpose of being able to reasonably think, find logical decisions, make decisions, and regulate your impulse control. Because it's less active, they struggle with those things, so they struggle with impulsive behaviors. They struggle to make decisions based off of logic rather than emotion. Because of their overactive stress responses and their prolonged stress responses, you will see differences in their hippocampus, which is critical for memory and stress regulation. Because of the dysfunction in their hippocampus, you'll notice that they struggle with short-term memory or working memory. This could be walking into a room and forgetting why you walked into there. That could be misplacing things like your phone, your keys, your wallet. And sometimes they have trouble recalling things that have happened while they're in depressive or hypomanic states. When we're looking at the mental functions and we're looking at the disability tax credit, they would be eligible underneath mental functions because bipolar 2 disorder actually impairs emotional regulation and your cognitive functions. For example, they have difficulties regulating their emotions and their emotions can quickly shift. They have difficulties with working memory, short-term memory, and episodic memory. They hold impairments in attention and concentration. For example, during depressive states, it's really hard for them to follow conversation or even complete tasks because their focus is significantly reduced. Hypomania causes racing thoughts, which is really distracting towards anything else in their environment. It also impacts planning, organizing, executive functions, impulse control, decision-making, problem-solving, adaptive functions. When we look at adaptive functions, we're looking at do they remember to shower? Do they remember to brush their teeth? Do they remember to take their medication? Will they remember to go to the pharmacist and pick up their medication? Last but not least, it also impacts their sleep. So to answer your question, yes, underneath mental functions, especially emotional regulation and cognitive functions, as well as memory. If you have any other questions, feel free to click the follow button and comment below.